This big behemoth requested by you guys is the 2022 Cadillac Escalade Sport Platinum. This, as near as makes no difference, it costs over $100,000, as you guys would expect. But is it worth it though? All right, so in the interior of the Cadillac Escalade, as you can see, there's a lot going on in here. And let's just start off with the screen because it's super unnecessary, but it looks cool, it's futuristic, it's what we need. We're in 2022, screw it, we need it. This is a 38-inch screen, digital display screen, and like I said, everything here is digital. There's nothing analog here or anything like that. And again, it's a new, fresh taste of what the future is gonna be like. And obviously here, this is my favorite feature right here. So you actually can go over to the touchscreen setting over here, and you can change the screen to your augmented reality. Not only do you have the augmented virtual reality, but you also have night vision. I can't do it now because we're in the daylight, but you have night vision, and you can also go back to your gauges if you just want to have something regular, which is no problem. But I want to go back to the augmented virtual reality because when you actually have your GPS set up to, let's say home or Wawa or anything like that, the actual directions can pop up on the screen so you can see where to turn. So there's no reason for anybody to be missing turns, no reason for anybody to be being late to events. And then apart from that, you just have the same natural, just beautiful materials everywhere around in the cabin. Wood and beautiful leather everywhere. Everything feels good to touch. I don't really get a sense of, plasticky feel or anything like that, like in the old model. Everything feels good to touch. Everything feels cool to press and all that stuff. And the screen, surprisingly, is actually not that difficult to use. You would think for something as big as this, it would be super hard, but it's not. You also get massage seats because, of course, it is a Cadillac. And here's one thing I want to show, because this really needs to be mentioned. So I got it in reverse right now, and check out what I can do. Look at this. Now that's awesome. However, my only problem is you can't actually move it around with your finger like you can in some of the, the higher models. Well, not even higher models, but just the Germans, let's just be honest. And yes, I can move it with the dial and all that stuff, but it would still be cool if I could have moved it with my finger. That's my only thing. But again, the technology that you have in here is absolutely sublime. All right, so in the second row of the Cadillac Escalade, obviously this is actually my seating position. I'm not that tall, I'm only 5'10", but I have plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom, and actually I have a really good, nice, intuitive display right here where, all the kids can pretty much enjoy themselves and just watch whatever they want to watch. They have YouTube, Hulu, and not only that, but you even have heated seats back here. You got your cup holders, and technically you can actually hook up an Xbox or a PlayStation back here because you have two HDMI cords, two USB-C cords, and you have a house plug. All right, so this is the short wheelbase model, and this was my seating position the same way how I set it up, and it's not terrible. I can sit back here, but not comfortably. Whoever is sitting in front of me is gonna have to move a little bit, but you do get a little bit of cheap feel back here. So basically, Cadillac just like, we love you in the first row, we kind of like you in the second row, but if you're in the third row, you're on your own. You get this real cheap Tahoe-ish feel back here with the plastic. They didn't even bother to put any of the nice materials that they put on the in the second row or even the first row. But yeah, you get this real cheap plastic look. You get a little bit of that material for the armrests. You get your USB-C port right here, and that's about it. All right, so in the rear of the Cadillac Escalade, there's 2 openings for it. There is the halfway, so where you can actually just load in regular things if you need something sticking out or whatever. And then closing this, I don't want to be careful because this glass is made in Mexico, so you want to be a little bit careful with that. And then now to open the trunk, you press the badge, which is, I think, pretty cool, to open up to your not so big trunk space. Of course, this is the regular sized one. In the extended wheel version, it is a little bit longer, about a foot. And of course, you have your little storage here for, I don't know, blankets or something. It's really not that deep. And then just pretty small area right here, but you can, of course, drop the seats and stuff to get you a little bit more space. The seat's a little bit back, so that's why it's not going all the way down. But you even have a house plug back here so that you can actually be able to plug things while you're back here. Keep things cool, keep things charging or anything like that. It's a pretty good setup. So according to Cadillac, they say Cadillac combines dynamic performance and poised handling, looking forward to a powerful yet nimble drive every time you sit behind the wheel. And honestly, they didn't need to do that, because they really take it so serious to the point where they try to make it as performance-y as possible, and it's not necessary. You don't need to do that. For example, they put these flappy paddles back here so that you can manually change through the transmission and everything like that. But as far as I'm concerned, this doesn't work at all. Matter of fact, they're kind of garbage, because here, I'm gonna put it in sport, right? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Speaking of sport, this has 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, and under that bonnet is a 6.2 naturally aspirated, country-loved V8. But back to the handling portion of this thing. So the turn radius is really good. No mistakes there. But again, does not work. GM, what are you doing? Anyway, about the transmission, it's a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's pretty smooth, it's not bad. And here's my opinion on this, right? I really do feel like Cadillac is really taking too serious on that whole, combines dynamic performance and poised handling. Why? It's an Escalade. It's supposed to just be a regular cruise on the beach, cruise to the dinner, and just be a statement car, pretty much. That's why people buy these things. That's why the moms love these things, because it's just a statement car. It's a big shoebox with a lot of toys in it, and it just looks good, and it's big. And for some reason, women just want to have a car that makes them feel more masculine, I guess. I don't know. Women, let me know if I'm wrong. Or you guys just probably like these cars because the seat vibrates. But we're gonna keep that for another day.
That was just a joke. At the end of the day, the Cadillac Escalade is a solid, heavy family vehicle. And then of course, if you're going out with the boat, the maximum towing capacity is 8,200 pounds. But still, it's very comfortable with the Magna Ride control and the Air Ride adaptive suspension. And then of course, some other good key features like automatic door closing features. Or maybe if you want to have something cooled, you have a fridge, where I was cooling up my wallet. But a couple annoyances though, the shifter was placed right above the volume knob and the dial, so it can kind of get in the way. And of course, I actually wish that there was a handle when you go in the vehicle. Apart from that, the vehicle, the Cadillac Escalade, is definitely a top tier SUV and definitely should be on your list.